Broadcasting live from the Business RadioX studios in Sandy Springs, Georgia, it's time for Sandy Springs Business Radio. Now, here's your host.
Lee Kantor here, another episode of Sandy Springs Business Radio, and this is going to be a good one. Today on the show, we have Lisa Reynolds and Katie Bowling with LGE Community Credit Union. Welcome.
Hello, thank you for having us.
I am so excited to learn what you're up to. Tell us a little bit about LGE Community Credit Union. How are you serving folks?
We're serving our community and anyone who live and work in the area, our service areas of our branches and financial centers.
So can you share a little bit the difference between a community credit union, a bank? Like, how do they all kind of fit into the world?
Yes, so the difference between a credit union and a bank is that we're for nonprofit. So that means the money that we make, that we bring in for profit, we have to give back to our members. And we do that by having better rates, lower fees, less fees really. And it's just more of a community feel when you come in. You get that personalized service where we want to hear what you have to say and give you the individualized product or service that will match your needs.
Now, you say member. Is that what a traditional bank would call a client? Like, are you using member in a way that another organization would call it a client? That's by design, right? That's not an accident?
Yes, that's correct. When you open an account, you're joining LGE Community Credit Union. So we call you a member. And so you now are part of the credit union success. And then in a lot of organizations, membership has benefits. Are there some benefits from being a member of LGE? Yes, definitely. The biggest thing is our interest rates. And we have absolutely the best interest rates for our checking account. We have a 4% checking account. It's hard to find right now. A lot of times when you get a higher interest rate like that, you have to lock in your money. Whereas this, you don't have to have a minimum balance. It's 4% on your daily average balance. But it's things like that. Also, auto loans, mortgages. Across the board, we're going to have better rates. And then for a person choosing to go the community credit union route rather than a bank, what about like kind of apps and online experience and access, to make deposits, things like that, where I don't want to necessarily go into a branch? Do I still get some of those benefits as well? Oh, definitely, yes. We have online banking. We offer the SNAP deposit. It's fully set to do any type of banking that you can do with any other financial institution. So what's your backstories? Where have you always been involved in banking your whole career? Is this something that you've always been working in? I have. I've worked for the other big banks. So now it's better to work for a credit union. The credit union treats their members number one, and they treat the employees number one. So I feel like I'm in the right place. I love it. I call those banks like the stadium banks. The ones that they have enough money they can put their name on, things like that, instead of just kind of filtering it back to the people that are kind of paying their salaries. Right. I work for some of the stadium banks, so now I'm in a better place. So now, for you, having had that experience, what do you see the difference in where you're making the most impact when you're dealing with your customers today? I like Katie said, being more personable with our members and giving them that service. We have the time to help them and meet their financial needs. Now, is it something, because I have had money at some of these larger stadium banks in the past, and it seems that every time you go in there, it's a new person. I'm just like a name on a spreadsheet. Right. And so if you're in a community credit union bank, it feels like it would be different. Like you're going to kind of remember who I am, and you're going to wave to me and know, who my kids are or my dog. Absolutely. We have people that come in their grandmother worked at Lockheed, and their grandfathers, and the kids come in, their grandkids come in. So we get to know our members very well that way. Now, the types of, you mentioned interest rates. Is it something that this is only for consumers, or is it business folks too? Like, can a business bring their business account there and then maybe offer this, some advantage like some of the larger corporations do with partnerships with larger banks? Yes, absolutely. We do commercial lending and commercial accounts. We don't really look for some of the commercial accounts like that need a lot of cash on hand. like your fast food restaurants, gas stations. Those are a little more difficult for us to handle all the cash flow that comes through. Mm-hmm. But definitely we like to help those nonprofit organizations. We have a great nonprofit account. If you're a nonprofit charity, there's no fees, no minimum balance. You come in, you do your business, because we want to help. With us being a nonprofit, we want to help those that are nonprofits as well.
Wow. So that's a niche that you guys have carved out in the marketplace, is really serving the nonprofits?
Yes.
And then regarding the businesses that aren't, kind of cash heavy like that, is there niches in that area as well?
Yes, we're actually working a little closer in that direction, because we recently acquired Greater Community Bank, and they're more over on the north side, Gordon and Bartow, and they were very heavy with commercial banking. So we're hoping with this acquisition, this is going to help, broaden our game into the commercial lending and commercial accounts. So
now, a typical customer that comes to you, are they just frustrated with their experience in the bank? Is that usually how they how you get on their radar? Like, how do you acquire like a new customer? What's the path they usually get to you?
Well, there's different ways. We do, of course, get those. The people come in and they're frustrated with maybe fraud, or they got a fee, whatever the case may be, and we'll get them that way. But a big way where we've been really working diligently is going out into the community and developing relationships with other businesses. So we like to go in and do financial literacy classes and be able to speak to other employees and see what they're looking for, answer their questions about their financial needs, have someone that they know they can call on personally and be like, hey, I got this question about a mortgage, or do you think I can get a better rate for this car loan? So that's been a big part of our really, I don't know what to call it. It's just kind of like we're really trying to become more community-based, where we really feel like people expect to see LGE, they want to see LGE, and they know they're going to get the service that they deserve through us.
So you want to be more visible in the communities that you serve by letting people know that you're there to offer education and just help in any regards to their finances or their banking.
Definitely. Right. And we can even go into their business and open accounts. So, like, we'll do something if for example, we had a little crumble cookie open next to one of our financial institutions. And a lot of them were young coming in, and the new employees there. So we set up accounts for those who didn't already have accounts for them, so they can go ahead and get their direct deposit set up. And, they'll be ready, because a lot of times, the young kids don't have accounts.
Right, this is
they
their
get the
first
card.
time. Right.
Yeah, so we like to be a part of those type of things, because it just shows that we actually care about what's going on in their lives and want to be there throughout each financial need they have.
Now, you're in the Sandy Springs studio for a reason. Sandy Springs branch, I guess, just opened recently?
Yes, we just opened. We've been open a month now.
So let's talk about that. Launching a branch into an area, had you ever done that before? Come into a new area?
I have not. My first. But it's the best area, though. I like Sandy Springs. It was voted number 1 in the cities of Georgia. We've been voted number 1 for Forbes, best in state. So, we married it too. It's a good match. Yeah, we married it too. And we loved it. I love the community. The community has embraced us very well. They're very, very welcoming to us. Mm-hmm. So we've got a lot of people come in, said they're happy that we're in Sandy Springs, a part of the Sandy Springs community.
So now when you enter a community like this, I'm sure some of the existing LGE clients, maybe some of them live around here, and you can kind of peel some of them off and then make it more convenient for them. But for a lot of folks, this will be new, right? This is their first time hearing about the brand and knowing that it exists. So are you going out, like Katie said, and doing all that?
Sure.
Kissing babies and shaking hands?
Yeah, shaking hands, kissing babies, going to the merchants around in the neighborhood. I've gone around in the merchants and let them know that we're coming. Mm-hmm. And then we're open and let them know we're here. And I let them know we have a grand opening coming up. Katie and I are business partners, so we go out to the Sandy Springs Chamber, perimeter chamber meetings, and meet the new owners, new people and faces. So we'll let them know that we're here, and please come by and see us. Right. We're going to open up accounts.
So now, if somebody is interested in having that kind of initial conversation, do they have to bring stuff? Is there homework they have to do before having that conversation with you, or can they just come in and start chatting with you?
They can just come in and start chatting with us. I have a staff that's there that's right now there to help. They can come by anytime. We can answer any questions, open up accounts, whether right there.
Now, part of the LGE Community Credit Union is a foundation, Outreach Foundation. Can you talk a little bit about how that came about, or is this just part of the DNA of LGE, that this kind of community service and outreach is just part of how you guys go about doing business?
Yeah, so in 2010, we decided that we wanted to start doing a golf tournament, do different events to raise money for charities that were within our footprint. And so we've raised about $2 million over since 2010. And what we do is we have a casino night, we have our golf tournament, and I feel like I'm missing one other event. But then also we have where our team goes out to these different charities that we will give the proceeds to, and we'll do different work that they need, like if they need painting done, or if they need a deck fixed, or whatever the case may be, or if they just want us to work with children, or whatever they need, whatever they're looking for, they'll give us a list of things to do. We'll send out 10 employees, and the employees, we don't send them out, they actually volunteer. And so they're putting in a lot of hours on days that they aren't supposed to be working, and go out there and help out these other nonprofits. And that's just been something that really has brought the credit union together. The employees, they love that time seeing that they're making a difference, not only with someone financially, but also personally.
And that's one of those things where the people that you probably attract as employees are people who have that same heart that you all have, that is part of the heart of the organization, that you're all about serving the community, and that is your true north. And it's easier to make decisions when that's the case, right? It's easier to decide we're going to do work like this because it matters.
It
Absolutely.
does.
So now, tell us about the branch. So is this a brand new branch, or did you take over something that was already there? What is the branch?
No, this is a brand new branch. I was there when they were putting in the lights and the letters and all the.
So you got to tell them where
TVs.
you wanted things.
Yes, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. It's a great experience, and it's a beautiful branch. It's more like a cafe, like Katie said before. It's really pretty. It's very welcoming, and we have live plants in there, and everybody can come in like a cafe and use online banking, talk to our bankers. We'll help them with loans to open accounts, to mortgage, or whatever they need. We're full service.
Now, is that, do people still go into the bank?
Absolutely.
So that's still an important component of having a credit union, a community credit union, is having a facility where people can physically go and meet face-to-face with the people that are, in charge? I
think that's one of the things that a lot of our members and new people is that we're open, and we remained open through COVID. Mm-hmm. So we made it through there, and a lot of people coming in, they have more questions about why LGE. Thank you for being in our community. I've heard about you. So yes, we love being there, and the members and new members like it.
So now you mentioned a grand opening. Is this going to be a big party? What do you do to celebrate an opening of a bank? It seems like it's open a little bit now.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, so we have already been open for a while, and you want to take a little time to make sure everything's properly working and stuff. Right. And then we have our grand opening this Wednesday, August 30th. Mm-hmm. It's at 3:00, and we put together gift baskets full of gift cards and other little treats in there, and with a value of $1,500. So they're great prizes to win. And just anyone who comes to our grand opening, put their name in a hat, we'll pull it out and see who wins all the gift cards and special treats we have for them. But and we do a ribbon cutting with the chamber. It's just a way to say, hey, we're here, we're part of the community. We'd like for you to celebrate with us. But another thing that we're doing and that we've been doing with our grand openings is we find a charity that we know is important to the community, and we will present a check to them during the grand opening. So we're doing a check for the Sandy Springs Police Benevolent Fund. Mm-hmm. So their board is coming out. We're presenting a check to them, just part of our celebration, and to thank them for what they do, because obviously it's a lot going on that they have to take care of as well.
Now, before you all coming here, I went on your website a little bit, and I see that you also have events throughout the year. Like there's a shredding event. Is that something that has been going on for a while? Like a way to help all the folks that have been accumulating all this paper.
Yes.
Finally get rid of some of this.
And it's free. Yes, it is huge. I have worked several shred events, and the amount of paper that goes through is unbelievable. And we go through trucks of paper shredding. I mean, they love it because, like you said, you accumulate all these bank statements, tax papers.
Right, and you just have these boxes that you just keep stacking up, and you're like, this is like from 20 years ago. Like, how long do I have to keep this stuff?
Exactly, yes. So they will bring all their boxes. They will come back through a second, third time, and we're fine because we want to stay busy the whole time we're out there. But yeah, it's been definitely a very popular event that we have.
And then how much does it cost for somebody if they want to dump some stuff?
Nothing. It's free.
That's just a free thing that you all do?
Yes.
Man, so it is really all about just giving back to the community and really serving the folks in the way that they need to be served.
Yes.
That's right.
So now if somebody wants to learn more, have a more substantive conversation with somebody on the Sandy Springs team or somebody who just wants information about LGE Community Credit Union, what's the best way to do something like that?
I would say come into a branch. I mean, you can go online. We have a lot of information about LGE, but the best way is coming to an office, sit down and talk with someone. You're going to get the information you need without having to search a website. You have everything right there in front of you. So I would say come into our Sandy Springs office. We're at the Abernathy Square Plaza, right behind where the Hardee's and the City Barbecue is.
Right.
Oh, that's where you're at.
Publix shopping center.
There's Publix over there as well.
Yep.
Yes.
And then you mentioned that there's regular non-business but also business accounts. Is there anything from that standpoint that a person has to know to have a business conversation with you, or the same thing, just come in and?
It's best to come in because that way we get more information about what kind of business you have, what kind of application we need, what documentation we need as well. So we have a lot of people that stop by and ask that question. I want to open a business account. Can you tell me more about it? So we can service them.
Now, if they are switching from another bank, do you help them do that, or is like how does that kind of the switching? Is there a pain? Is it, sometimes people are afraid for change because of the just the. I feel funny talking to the person to get rid of that other account. Like, do you help them with that? Like, how does that kind of work?
Sure. If they have any questions, if they are transitioning from a traditional bank to our credit union, we help them with that, yes.
Mm-hmm.
We also find ways, like for the biggest thing I always hear, I was a branch manager at our Woodstock location a year ago, and so the same thing, that was the biggest thing you'd hear is, oh my goodness, how am I going to switch all this online banking?
Right.
Like my bills are automatically coming out. And so we will sit there and walk them through that process and take them. It's like the best thing you do. Go through your statement, see what's coming out automatically. We'll go through all that with them. We'll help them get set up on LGE's online banking, do bill pay. The whole process, we will help them through that.
And that's so important because it's like you said, that seems like a little thing, but in the mind of that person, that's the biggest thing. They know what a hassle it was to get that situated, but to have a human being sit next to me and go line by line down a statement, that gives me a lot of comfort and security that I know that I'm being taken care of, and I know I'm not going to screw something up inadvertently just by making this change.
Absolutely.
And while they're making the change, we can help them go ahead and open up accounts with us. And they can transition over, transfer the money.
Right, so it doesn't have to be like you're flipping a switch. It can be more gradual than that.
Exactly, and they can transfer Zelle. We've already helped members come in and say, I want to switch my Zelle from this account to your account. Right. So we can help them with that.
Yeah, and you add that human touch that makes all the difference.
Right. With their online banking, everything they need, we take care of it.
Right. Now, I think in today's world, I think people are hungry for that human interaction. That, there was a time where everything offline, I don't want to talk to anybody, I don't want to deal with anything. But now I think people are returning back to that human-to-human connection.
Yes, I agree.
I go out with customers too, so when I go out and I'm standing there, I'm like, there's no one talking. There's no one saying hi. There's no one trying to
It's like they're almost ignoring you on purpose.
Yes. I'm like, I count to 10, but yes, we don't do that. We'll greet you in the door, ask you what brings you in, and we'll take care of you.
And then one more time, the website if somebody wants to learn more.
It's www.lgeccu.org.
Well, Lisa, Katie, thank you so much for sharing your story today. You're doing such important work, and we appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Yes, we enjoyed it.
All right, this is Lee Kantor. We'll see you all next time on Sandy Springs Business Radio.